What up? What up? It's your boy Mike. That's your boy EJ. Welcome to our sports cast. And today we just continuing more Bears talk, more more insight on potential prospects for the QBs that we could potentially be drafting. Today or for today's show was my pick. We'll get into that a little bit later. How's your week? How's your week been, EJ?
Pretty good, man. Been chilling with the fam stuff, work. SOS, same old, same old.
Okay. Any fun facts for the Bears this week?
Um, well, we got the one fact with Andy Dalton. If you want to bring
Okay.
that up now.
Let's start that now because we always forget that. So we're gonna start off things that we always forget, which is facts of the week. So last week I forgot to show because we were staying positive on Andy Dalton, because at the end of the day we do love our Bears. We're not here just to trash them. We talk the real life what is really happening, plus a little bit of optimism and a little bit of realism. So my fact of the week though is I found that Andy Dalton. Here, let me post it up for people to see. No, that's not that one. Here we go. Andy Dalton has started 4 playoff games and has thrown 1 touchdown.
Yeah, freaking
I just had
pathetic.
to pause for a second just in case people started laughing. But no, in all seriousness, this is who they went out and got. This is who they said. I believe you have a Ryan Pace clip you're going to show later, but this is who they said was the guy that is QB1. If I'm
Yep,
not mistaken, they put it out on Twitter the other week.
yep.
So your guy has thrown 1 touchdown, but look at these games, for example. His team has never scored more than 13 points in a playoff game in a league where it's nothing but offense now. Like the defense can't even touch you. And you're telling me that this man has only accounted for 1 touchdown out of all these games, bro? And these are
Sad.
starts. He's finished all of these, by the way. These are
Yep,
starts to finish. These aren't injury here. Now,
yep.
granted, he's had mad talent around him. He all these playoffs teams either had an AJ Green, who else did they had? Mohamed Sanu, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
They
He was
had
there.
Giovanni Bernard.
Yep.
They've had studs like at least fantasy stars, like on fantasy football. At least they're stars on that, but they're actually legitly good. But this is who they went out and got, EJ.
Yeah, and it's like, man, and like I said before, somehow they actually wanted to get him last year instead of Nick Foles, but they ended up getting Nick Foles. And it's like, but they practically the same dude, man. And it's like, what has he done that made you want to get him? It's like, yeah, he's showing flashes. Like, man, I have like his I think his best season he threw what 25 touchdowns, 25 touchdowns. I think like 8 interceptions. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick.
There you go, buddy. I just had it up for you.
Oh, you did?
Yep, yep.
Yeah. Yeah. The 25 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. So my bad. He had 25 touchdowns and 7 picks. That was his best season. All right. He also threw for it's a season here where he threw for 4,293 yards, but he threw 20 picks. So it's like he's had decent years. I mean, if you look at it, the Bengals were making the playoffs, and people were asking for Marvin Lewis's job because they would literally get to the playoffs and lose.
Yeah.
First game every season they got to the playoff. People's like, how is this dude still the darn coach? They get to the playoffs and they lose in the first round. How is that good? He's part of the reason this man ain't got it. Marvin Lewis ain't got a job because he gets in the darn playoffs and he plays terrible. But this is the guy that they decided they wanted to get. Oh, we'll go to the Ryan Pace clip later, but it's like I don't see anything about this dude that screams like, "Hey, this is the guy going forward. He should be QB1 day one." It's like, nah, bro. Like honestly, they need to come into training camp, go into preseason, and like whoever plays better, they should get the job. It shouldn't be like, oh, Andy Dalton's a starter for game one. It's like,
I
you know,
agree.
Nick Foles looked like trash at times last year. Well, a lot of times last
A
year.
lot.
But part of that was they didn't have no offensive line. It's like, so you think this dude gonna be any better if you still have the same trash offensive line next year? Which I don't think they will. I'm pretty sure the offensive line will be improved next year. But still,
It
man,
can't
it's
get any
like
worse. Oh, it can't get any worse. It really
no,
can't.
they honestly they can't get no worse than what they were last year. Last year they were horrible, but at the same time, man, it's like, you know, I think they should like whatever they shouldn't like name starter week one. Like, how you gonna name your starter week one already? The dude ain't even play one snap in preseason. Ain't seen him in training camp. None of that stuff. And then he got the nerve to talk about, oh, he's durable. Dude's had injuries. You know, he had a freak injury last year. That wasn't really his fault. I think he also got COVID last year too. But you know, it's like I'm done, man. Like it just annoys me how we got to go through this every single year with the Bears, man. Like, my God.
I agree. And here, let's put these crappy numbers away because they're not even gonna help Andy Dalton any.
No.
This is, like you said, this is the guy that they said is QB1, no training camp, no chemistry with any of the receivers. Like, I don't think anybody on the roster has caught a ball from Andy Dalton, if I'm not mistaken. So it's like,
Yep.
I would have been okay with even saying a quarterback competition, but it's what quarterback competition? It's like the competition between two backups. So we're not really getting anything good out of it.
Yeah.
I was trying to look up what they were ranked as far as their offensive line because you were talking about it, but I couldn't find it. Anyway, I'm just done with Dalton. I hope that we make a splash. I heard something today about one of the teams trying to offer up their top 4 pick. I forgot who was in the top 4. I just kind of skimmed through it. I wasn't really reading it, so I don't remember the team. But hey, maybe the Bears can make a move there.
They need to,
as far as the draft though, just to kind of segue into that, April 29th is what we found out that the draft is this year. Starts on April 29th and it ends on May 1st. So I was telling EJ before we started, I'm excited because we finally got a first round pick. We haven't had a first round pick in like the last 2 to 3 years because of that Khalil Mack trade.
Yep.
So we've been hampered there. We didn't even have like a second, I believe, at one point. So to have a 1, 2, and 3, if Pace finally learns how to pick 1 and 2, we're gonna be good with the third because he's usually found some gold in 3, 4, 5, later rounds.
Right.
So hopefully he finds some gold, and if he can't get into top 4 pick, just grab one of the best offensive linemen in that first round, and then take a look at one of these guys and that's a QB in the second round. Let's just segue into the quarterback of the week as far as who could potentially land to us. This guy, I just kind of seen him today. The guy's pretty good. I was telling EJ, he puts the ball where it needs to be. But here, I'm gonna let you guys take a look. Let me rewind it because we were kind of looking at it earlier. But this guy's pretty good. Oh, I forgot to mention his name. Desmond Ryder is his name, by the way.
How tall is this kid? He looks pretty tall.
Yeah, I'll look it up for you right now.
Oh, he went to Cincinnati. Okay, I'm like, man, what school is that? Didn't recognize the darn uniforms for a minute.
I kind of like their uniforms a little bit. They're kind of cool. The guy is 6'4".
Yeah, he looks like it looks like he got some height.
And for him being so skinny looking, he's actually 215. That's how much he weighs, 215 pounds. So
Okay.
I don't know where it's at, but
Yeah. Well, it's probably because he's so tall. That's what
yeah,
it's all spread out.
that's true.
Yeah, I like this throw, even though dude was wide open.
But yeah, he was wide open. But remember how we were talking about before the show started? You got to be able to find a wide open guy because, man, last year there were some times where either Mitch or Nick Foles was not finding the wide open guy like on broken plays. So
Yeah,
even if it doesn't look like, oh, you know, it was just an open throw, dude, that was a good catch right there.
that was a good catch, but that was also a really good throw. Like he put
It
it
was.
in the right spot.
I agree. Now, I was looking at who he just recently played. He just recently played a big name school, but they lost. Lost by 3. He was good, though. He had no interceptions. I think they were playing Georgia.
Oh, Georgia. Okay.
If I'm
Yeah,
not
this was you
mistaken.
was talking about. You said he was mobile.
Yep. Yeah, the guy's mobile. And, you know, like we say every week, that's what we need now in the NFL. We need guys that can move around.
Okay, yeah,
Every
he got
NFL.
some. He got
Yeah,
some
dude.
wheels on him
He got wheels, you know.
for
He
somebody that
shows
tall.
for real. What I'm more concerned, you know, I could really care less as much because the mobility, if you got some of it, that's cool. Like you just need some of it to at least like Patrick Mahomes. And he took this to the
What
house.
the heck, bro?
Yeah,
He outrun everybody. Okay.
it's good. I'm telling you, this guy, he's one of the top 10 in Todd McShay's ranking. He's top 10, you know, out of all the quarterbacks that could go.
Okay.
He's not top 10 out of all the players, but of
But out of
all
the
the
quarterbacks.
quarterbacks. Yeah,
Okay, I got you.
exactly. Now, easily could fall to us in the first round if we really want, but I wouldn't want to take a first round on this guy. Unfortunately, like it's just I wouldn't personally because we need to protect whoever is back there. We really need an offensive lineman with that pick. Now,
Yeah,
even if we
exactly.
go with a lineman, it's not guaranteed that he's going to be good, but at least we're giving us ourselves a chance, some fresh, you know, a fresh body.
Right, right.
What you think of
But
this
yeah,
kid overall, though?
he looked pretty good, man. I like the fact that he's really mobile, like especially for a dude that big. It's like he got some sneaky speed. I wasn't
Yeah,
expecting that. I'm not gonna lie. Especially that last run that he ran all the way to the end zone. That was what, like 70, 80 yards? Like, dang.
Jeez. Yeah, I didn't actually see that last part of the clip. I kind of just turned it off right there, but that was good, man. That was nice. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna find out very soon, bro. Like as the days go on, you know, we're getting closer to that day that we're gonna see who we take in the first round. I believe day one they only do first round, so day
Yeah, I
two
think
and
so.
is second and third round if I'm not mistaken. So by Saturday we're gonna find out what quarterback we have. You know, not Friday, but most likely Saturday. And you never know. Like Pace has already done some crazy stuff. I wouldn't put it past him to try to make a trade into those first 4 picks. You know, we don't know what he's gonna offer, but he could possibly do it. The
If
odds,
if they moving up, if they do make a trade for the first 4 picks, they definitely picking a quarterback. That's why they would do it. So my thing is, if they do that, then what does that mean for Andy Dalton in this Nick Foles situation? It's like, okay, y'all, if y'all move up to get a top pick, y'all obviously picking a quarterback, and you're gonna get one of the good ones. So it's like, is this gonna change the plans any? Oh, is Andy Dalton still gonna be QB1? Or are we gonna let the rookie, try to fight it out? Because honestly, they in a situation right now. It's kind of weird, man. They are literally fighting for their jobs this year, Pace and Nagy. So it's like, but they still in a weird situation where it's like, well, y'all got a quarterback. He's obviously not going to be the future. It's kind of like a stopgap to get to the future. So that's why I fully expect them to pick a quarterback because it's like these two dudes on the roster is not going to be the future quarterback for the Bears. There's no way. So they honestly they should be in a situation where we should draft a quarterback. Not saying in the first round, but you should, whoever they evaluate, and I heard but Pace talking about in the interview, I don't think I included in the clip, but Pace was talking about how they were at one of the pro days. So it's like, okay, which pro day were you at? Which quarter were you looking at one of the quarterbacks? It's like, if they end up picking a quarterback, what's going to be the quarterback situation going forward? Like, I don't see how you would like just maybe let him sit, part of the season, and then once Andy Dalton starts to tail off, okay, let's do like the Dolphins did with Tua last year. They had Ryan Fitzpatrick in there for a while. Then like people were clamoring, okay, get Tua in there. Y'all make this draft pick for him. It's time to let him play. He's gonna be the future. Ryan Fitzpatrick's not the future. And eventually Tua got in there. Now they kind of play a little quarterback carousel the whole like towards the end of the season where they put Fitzpatrick back. So you don't want to have a situation like that. But maybe it'll end up being the same situation with the Bears next year. They end up drafting a quarterback, and then Andy Dalton starts week 1, plays a few games, and if he looks like trash, say, hey, we got to get this quarterback in here because, like, honestly, they got a tough schedule, man. Like, these dudes picked management picked the bad year. We'll keep them one more year at the, and see how they do. Give them one more chance. But it's like, y'all picked the wrong year to do that, considering what y'all schedule y'all got, man. Because it's like you pretty much saying, hey, we just keeping y'all for 1 year, and then we might pick up one of these college coaches, try to sneak one of them in here next year and have them be the head coach. Because it's like I don't see the Bears doing nothing this year, honestly, especially with the way the roster is currently constructed.
I agree. And like you said, giving them an opportunity like that, one more chance with the type of schedule we got is pretty much, I mean, maybe they did that on purpose. Maybe McCaskey was like, all right, this is going to be your final test, and I already know it's going to be close to impossible, so I'm already kind of ready to fire you. Yeah. Let them go, because they're possibly adding the new game, the 17 games now. So let them go 7-9 or 7-10 or something like that, and boom, you're gone. Now the following year's schedule might be a little lighter since we had such a losing season without making the playoffs. So, and then, it'll be easier for the new coach coming in. So I can see him playing it like the future like that. But I totally agree with what you said. There's like, good luck, man, with this season. But we'll see. We'll see what happens, though.
We'll see.
I do like the idea of maybe Andy Dalton playing, obviously, until he's not playing that well anymore, and then letting the rookie come in. But it's like, do you want to put a rookie in and kind of like destroy his confidence because he's going against these top teams? His first year in the NFL, it's not going right for him because the coach can't call a play to save his life, because Nagy is resuming play calls for 2021. So it's like, already that Nagy's not the best play caller. So it's like, I don't want to really put the rookie in that type of situation, because not all of them can flourish, but it's gonna be tough. We're gonna see, only time is gonna tell exactly how it's gonna go. But I'm interested to see what clip you got of Ryan Pace there, if you want to play it.
Yeah, so I'll play it real quick so you can hear what this dude was talking about.
And he never
mentioned. How you doing, man?
I'm good. We haven't talked to you since Mitch wound up with Buffalo, and now with the benefit of hindsight and with some finality to it, can you share with us kind of your overview about why it didn't work out the way you had hoped?
Yeah, I think, just as I look back, I think Mitch battled for this team, Pat, and I think really a lot of our ability to be in the playoffs 2 of the last 3 years is a credit to him, and I think he sacrificed a lot for this team, and I just say we wish him nothing but the best, and now we're looking forward.
What went into the decision to not bring him back?
There's a lot of factors, and there's multiple people involved in that, and at the end of the
he
day,
can't even look into the camera when he says
in,
different
areas of our team, and that's one of the areas of our team where we feel like we're improving.
Mark Potash.
Hey Ryan, where's the upgrade with Andy Dalton with regard to that quarterback position? What does Dalton give you that you weren't getting at quarterback last year?
Yeah,
I like that
Mark.
question.
I think, with Dalton, the things we like as you look at it, obviously his experience. He's a 9-year starter. He's been to 3 Pro Bowls. A lot of leadership with Andy Dalton. Decision making. We like his decision making. He's won a lot of games in this league. Andy's been a durable player too.
You notice how
he
he say he ain't play no play. He don't got no playoff wins. He ain't
offense.
You got a lot of playoff wins.
Our scouts and coaches.
Can't say that. Can
you? He can handle the drop back game. He
Couldn't
can
say
handle
that.
the RPOs, the play actions, the movements. And we just felt, as we went through those free agent quarterbacks, he's one of the more complete quarterbacks that we evaluated this year in free agency, and we're excited to have him.
Thank you.
Yeah, bull crap.
One of the more complete quarterbacks that you evaluated.
This dude Matt had the audacity to say that. And then what he said about Mitch Trubisky too, it's like, stop playing. He's one of the main reasons why we were in the playoffs these 2 out of 3 years. What? Nah, your defense was. Stop playing.
Defense, exactly. Yeah, talking about I give him credit. Like, give him credit for what? For losing those games. He didn't go off in these playoff games. He didn't pull off a Ben Roethlisberger throwing touchdowns in the end zone, with 2 seconds left. Like, he didn't do nothing like that. He just, he put us in position 1 game out of his 2 playoff games that he's played. Put us in position to win 1 time. And I'll say that the fact that kick didn't go in obviously was not his fault. He can't kick it. So, but I do give him blame for only scoring 15 points or whatever we scored. It was like something weird. It was like 15-16 or something like that. So he gets no credit because you couldn't elevate the team to score more than 15 points at the end of the day. It should not came down to a no kick if you really want to be like, okay, the quarterback did something.
Right.
But I don't know, man. I've just had it up to here with anything that Pace has to say at this point. It's like unless you guys go unless you guys win 10 plus games next year and you guys are actually beating good teams, because if y'all win 10 games next year, that means you beat good teams. So
exactly.
Then it's like, okay, I can see it. Maybe they did figure out finally, but like I keep saying, only time is gonna tell, because right now obviously they're not playing, so we can't see what this roster is gonna do yet. And we won't know our full roster for a while. Right? No, seriously, he is, man. Like, that's why I usually try not to talk when we're showing highlights of people talking, but it's like we're just so used to his BS at this point. It's like, dude, what's next?
For real, man. Honestly, it's like you sit there listening to him. It's like, you lying. Like you said, he over there talking. He not even looking. It's like he looking away and stuff. Like, he just shoveling all that garbage, man. Like, they all know. Like, and that question that dude asked was like on point. It's like, what makes Andy Dalton so great? Like, what makes him different from the bums y'all had before? Like, I appreciated that question because it's legit. Like, okay, y'all got him. What's so great about him now? It's like, I don't know, man. Like, I was watching that interview. I'm like, this dude, please, God, let him get fired this year, please. Him and Maggie, like, let him go. Like, I'm telling you, man, I don't see our offense making no huge leaps in bounds this year. I don't see it. I'm sorry. They have not given me faith to think that they're going to be better on offense this year. I'm sorry. Like, I just don't see it.
We haven't upgraded nowhere, though.
Exactly.
Right.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope the Bears prove me dead wrong. I hope they go 10, win 10 games this year. 10-7? Hope they win 10 games this year, man. It's like, I hope. But it's like, I just don't see it, man. It's like they haven't done nothing in the last 2 years to give me faith. Like 8-8 back to back. And last year they shouldn't have won 8-8. They literally should have tanked the rest of the season. I thought that's what they were gonna do. I'm literally thinking, okay, they're gonna take the rest of the season. We're gonna get a high draft pick. Well, at least something good will come out of the season. No, these dudes decided to go on a win streak because they started playing bad teams. Start
Right.
going on a win streak, then get to the playoffs and just totally don't show up. It's like, what was the point of that? Now you in a situation where you have a 20th pick in the draft, and it's like, but you need a quarterback in a draft that has quarterbacks. It's like, oh my God, man. It just blows my mind, man. Like, and a lot of these teams is gonna get, a lot of these top teams is gonna get the quarterbacks, like the really good ones. Because like the Jets just made a trade. The Jets, they pretty
Sam
much just said,
Darnold.
yeah, they just traded Sam Darnold. So for a fact they drafted a quarterback. I mean, we already had a feeling they was going to draft. We already knew they was going to draft one. Some people's like, well, maybe they'll trade out of that pick. They'll stick with Sam Darnold. Nah, they not doing that. And I didn't see that happen. I didn't see that happening regardless. I knew they was going to draft the quarterback. But I was thinking like, okay, I don't care what these people talking about, possibly just deciding to keep Sam Darnold or whatever and like draft the quarterback. It's like, how's that going to work? You're going to draft the quarterback and you're going to keep Sam Darnold? I knew that wasn't going to happen. So it's like, as far as the Bears, though, it's like, hopefully we not having this conversation next year. I'm sorry. I can't do it again.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, hopefully next year we're talking, progression. We're talking, okay, we think we found, at least we can, look, this is my hope. Like I'm going to be full realistic. We're probably not going to find the guy that's going to be like, boom, he jumps off the paper on the field as explosive play after explosive play as far as a quarterback. We're probably not going to get that if we don't move into the first couple of rounds, which we're probably not going to get to go in there. I'm not sure. I don't think we have what people are looking for in order for us to get in there.
Exactly.
But say we find somebody in that second round, like you were talking about, or in the third round, we just find somebody that just makes a couple of plays where we're like, okay, maybe, like I'm at least looking for maybe, like give us some type of hope, and not just a maybe because he's running around because the offensive line is crap. No, it's like maybe because the offensive line is great. He's making good reads. He's just playing like a rookie sometimes. That's what I'm looking for, like for something, for a real development here. So I'm hoping and I'm praying, and we're gonna find out soon. Ultimately, if we can, though, just hypothetically, if we can get into those top four, and say obviously Lawrence is gonna be gone and Fields is probably be gone, but if you get in those top four and you get one of those guys, who are you taking? Like, who do you think we would fit the best with the system we got out of those top four guys?
Man.
Yeah, I'll give you a list if you need the list.
Yeah, because I already know Lawrence is going to be going. Fields is going to be going. A lot of people is hyping up Mac Jones. Mac Jones might end up getting picked early. What's the kid's name from BYU?
They got Zach Wilson from BYU.
Yeah, he's probably going to get picked by the Jets. I'm pretty sure of that. Him or Fields, one of the two.
I'm hoping we get – I like Fields a lot, but we're probably not going to get him.
Yeah,
Wilson, I heard too many weird stories about him. But, obviously that's – who knows what is true or not. But Trey Lance is the guy that I would really want to take. I feel like he would fit the best with us. Like, he has the mobility, and he can make the throws, and he's going to be there in like the fourth spot, most likely. I really feel like it's going to go Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields and then Zach Wilson. So it's like Trey is going to be either third or fourth. You're going to have a chance to get him.
Yeah.
But we'll see, though. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
It's the Bears we're talking about, and it's pace that we're talking about. So let's go back to being realistic. And we're probably not going to get nobody. So
yeah, for real. But you never know.
Alive. Right. You never know. Hope is alive. It's like that's the thing with the Bears. It's like we want to be so optimistic, but it's like we want to like just be real because they constantly disappoint. It's like I hope they hear this one day. It's like they constantly disappoint. You think we're gonna do well, and then boom, 10 years of bad. Then you
Yeah.
have another decent season. Boom, another 5 years of bad season. And it's like they think that we're okay with the 1 year because they're gonna remember the 1 year that we won one playoff game or we missed a kick. They're gonna remember that year. And yeah, it's true, we do remember the year, but we also remember all the shitty years in between. Like we don't forget those neither. Not as Reals fans. Like so, I don't know, man. I have no more for the Bears this week, man.
Yeah, I feel you, man. It's like honestly, I hope the draft gets here soon because I'm with you. I'm getting excited about it. I mean, maybe for a bad reason, but it's like because we might get disappointed. Who knows? They might do something stupid in the first round. Let's say they decide to draft a wide receiver. Like, really? It's just like, but honestly, I'm hoping they try to get this right because, like you said, Ryan Pace has been horrible in the first couple of rounds when he's had opportunity. He's been horrible, so I'm hoping he gets it right this time. But I'm staying cautiously optimistic. That's just where I'm at with them right now. So yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see. I was talking real quick though. I was talking to You want to talk about fan bases? I was talking to one of my coworkers. His name is Mike, and I was talking to him about the Packers and their situation. Honestly, just think about this real quick. They had 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks back to back. Our quarterback situation has been horrible since the franchise pretty much began. Sid Luckman. That's all I need to say. Just with that name, Sid Luckman. They had 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks back to back. 2 of them. Those 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks have only won 2 Super Bowls. So we want to complain about our management. They've had the 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks, but they didn't do what they needed to have the teams to build around, especially Aaron Rodgers. It's like Aaron Rodgers, they never had a really great team. They should have won more than 1 Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. So I
thought they were going to be honest. When they won that first one in 2012, I was like, oh shit, it's over.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like they get that Super Bowl, and it's like he ain't been back to Super Bowl since. So it's like let's say we finally get our dude. They got to build around him because you don't want to waste your opportunities. Like the window, there's one thing I love about football is how like a new team comes up like every single year. When you have your window of opportunity in the NFL, you got to take advantage of it, man. You have to. And it's like, I feel like our window is it's just slowly, it's almost closed at this point. We had our window of opportunity in 2018. That was there, 2018. 2019, we should have took a step up, but we took a step down. It's like now defense getting older. Quarterback situations got it even worse. It's like you got to take the advantage of the opportunity when it's there, is my point.
I agree, bro. And it's the constant theme with these guys, like every year. So we'll see, man. Like I said earlier, I have no more for these guys, man, because they just keep disappointing me. So
I feel you, man. I feel you.
I wanted to shout out the Cubs, man, because we actually the season started on the 1st, so we actually got to start implementing them a little bit. I'll start bringing in some facts and highlights from the Cubs. But shout out the Cubs. They won the first series of the year. They beat the Pirates, so we're 2-1, I believe, if they haven't already started another series.
They playing the Brewers,
out, man.
They playing the Brewers right now as we speak. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Actually, let me tune into that, man. But yeah, shout out the Cubs, man. You know what? The Cubs, the Bears need to take a real good look at their fellow brothers down the street, in the Cubs. The Cubs sold their team, and look what happened. Literally 2 years later, they won a World Series. So I'm not saying necessarily Virginia to go sell your team, but look for somebody that wants to win. Like the owners of the Cubs, they came in and they wanted to win, bro. Like they said it. They said when they bought the team, that the first thing they said is we want to bring a World Series to Chicago, and they delivered, bro. What did they
Yes,
do? They
sir.
went out and got Joe Madden. They went out and got John Lester. Like they brought in some key players, like that ended up being reasons why we went to the World Series and won the damn thing. So
Yeah, and guess what? They had a good GM, Theo Epstein. Did that
great,
help?
yeah. I agree, bro. That helped a lot. So shout out Cubs, man, and I'm trying to see. Okay, they're in the bottom of the ninth. No, I'm sorry, bottom of the third, 0-0. So right now they're still playing. They're still in there. So, but yeah, next week I'll start implementing some more facts here about the Cubs. You want to switch into the Bulls?
Yeah, let's talk
Okay,
about the
cool,
Bulls. So yeah, they finally ended their losing streak,
great.
which was nice. They were on a 6-game losing streak.
All it took was getting Vucevic.
Yeah, and it's like they got Vucevic, but they hadn't won a game with Vucevic. That's the problem. Like he was there, and he was. I think he's put up like 20 points every game that he's played. So he's played well for them, but honestly, it's part of it is the timing. He got traded, but then they schedule just got really hard. Like,
Right.
my God, man, it was like they ran up. They've been going up against some of the best teams in the league. They played the Jazz. Who else did they play with him? They played the Nets last night, but they won that game. But James Harden wasn't there. They played. Who else did they play?
But still,
Um,
still even if one of the stars, that team is loaded with stars. So if one player is missing and you still beat them, you still beat a team that is just full of stars. Like every position, it has a star, or at one point was an all-star, bro. So them beating a team like the Nets, and that's how they're gonna start gelling again. That's good. I like that, man.
Yeah, and it's like all three of the acquisitions that they made, whether it be Vucevic, Troy Brown Jr., and then they got Daniel Tice. They've all contributed in a way, and moving Larry Markin into the bench, and that's honestly, hopefully, they do something with him next year because he's just not it, man.
Yeah, they got to move him.
Yeah, they do, man, and it's like he doesn't really fit in what they're doing. Like they tried having him start with Vucevic the first game and it didn't work out. So Billy Dom was like, "Nah, we're gonna have you come off the bench because it just don't work." They put Thaddeus Young in there and it worked out better. And Thaddeus Young, I was looking at his stats. He's having a pretty good year. He has his highest field goal percentage. I think there's like some of the most assists he's averaged in his career too. I think he's averaged like 4.7 assists. So he's doing pretty well, but they put him in the starting lineup instead of Larry Markin, and it's been working better. Their main problems, and I've been talking about it all year, they can't play defense. Defense, and they make costly turnovers. Turnovers and defense is what kills them every single game. They lose. Even the games that they win, or even the games that they like could have won, they kept it close. There's been the same problem. Defense and turnovers. They make key turnovers at the most inopportune times that help fuel the other team's runs and stuff. And it helps them come back. Like, I ain't trying to hear this crap about them being a young team anymore. It's like, nah, them excuses got to go away. Like, y'all got to make better plays. And, last game they played pretty well against the Nets. Zach LaVine dropped 20. Let me see. Yeah, Zach LaVine dropped 25. Vucevic had 22. Satoransky had 19 points. Thaddeus Young had his 12. So they played pretty well.
Okay.
But like I said, James Harden wasn't there. Who knows how that would have went? But like you said, hey, they still got Kyrie was still there, and so they still won. Like they've lost to teams, even without James Harden and Kevin Durant. The Nets are better than some of the teams the Bulls have lost to with just Kyrie. So it's like the fact that they even won was good. But going forward, we'll see. I think tomorrow they played the Pacers. So we'll see how they do against them. But like, hopefully, this propels them forward to start winning some games.
I agree. And yeah, I was just looking at they do play the Pacers. So the Pacers are 22-26. The Bulls are 20-28. If we beat obviously the Pacers, we're one more spot closer. We're half a game back from the 9th spot. Then we're at 21. We're about 4 games away from the Celtics, which I'm surprised the Celtics have the number 8 spot right now in the East. That's surprising.
They struggle. Yeah, they
So
struggled
they're
this
struggling. Man, maybe their stars, their young stars have reached their ceiling. We'll find out soon, but maybe, they have, like, maybe there's the stars that they had don't have that next year, like Kevin Durant, LeBron, AD. So we'll see what happens though. But that Pacers game is key. So they got 2 easy ones, not easy ones, but 2 winnable games back to back. They got the Pacers and they got the Raptors. So those are 2 winnable games. You got the Hawks and Timberwolves after. So now they're actually playing some not great teams. Like the best next team that they're actually playing are the Grizzlies, which is not till April 12th. So they have a stretch of games where they can literally go on a 6-game winning streak, just like they were on a 6-game losing streak. And now it changes completely how they look in the East. And with Vucevic at the offense, you say he's been dropping 20 points a game. He's going to keep doing that. That's what we got him for. He's going to continue doing that. Like you said, we just got to get that defense to improve. And maybe the guys will start buying in now that they brought another all-star. Maybe the guys will be like, okay, let's buy into what the coach has to say. Yo, defense first. Because I feel like, honestly, defense is 50% attitude, like where it's like, I'm going to be at the right spot playing defense. I'm going to beat that man to his spot. I'm doing that. You know what I'm saying? That's 50%. And then actually the act. So let's hope these guys buy in. I believe you had some highlights, brother. What them highlights that you had for the Bulls Nets? Let me check those out. Because that's a good victory, man. That's a really good victory for them.
Yeah, so let me I'm about to play right now.
And Josh in the chat, man, let me know what you think about this victory, man. What you think is going to happen going forward, bro? Go ahead, put that in the comments up so I can put it up here.
Yeah, there go a connection between Zach and Vucevic. We should be seeing a lot of that for the years coming, hopefully.
Okay, cool. That was nice. That was actually a really good pass. You're right.
And then here's Daniel Tice. Like, he got some range in him. Like, he done worked on his shot. Dude can shoot. Here was another play from one of the new guys. Here's Troy Brown Jr. He's good on defense.
Ooh, okay.
He's athletic.
Okay, so see, those are the type of guys we need. Some guys that have attitude on defense. Because if the team sees a guy that doesn't really play have more attitude on defense, like honestly, if I see somebody coming off the bench and showing more effort on defense, it's gonna make me feel some type of way. I'm gonna want to go out there. So good dunk though, man. I love Zach LaVine now, man. He's good.
That's part of what Vucevic brings to the table. The dude can shoot from 3. It's like he hasn't really shot that well since he's come to us, but he was shooting like 40-some% before he got here. So it's like he has the range. This is like stuff that we've been lacking. Like he's more of a post-up player. It's something they've been lacking for years, like actual post-up presence. They can literally throw the ball down to the block to him. I was watching the game yesterday. They literally throw the ball down in the block, and he can make actually score. With the guys they had previously, they just weren't able to do it. They didn't have a post presence. He is legit a post presence. I think a lot of his assists have come from double teams because it's like once he gets down there, especially if it's a mismatch, he's going to score. He can get buckets. He can do drop steps, get the hook shots. He can do fadeaways. He can get in, like do spin moves, get down the baseline, do a layup. It's like he has all those post moves to get the score, and he can also shoot from 3. So it's like I was excited when they got him, and it's like they need to build around him, and Zach LaVine. They need to. The Satoransky's been doing well since Vucevic got here. But I don't think he's going to be like the long-term answer at the point guard position. they still need to upgrade that position. But once they do that, it's like, okay, hopefully in the offseason, maybe they go get Lonzo Ball, because there were a lot of rumors going around. They wanted to trade for him. They ended up doing, they got Vucevic. I feel like maybe this offseason, because I think he's going to be an unrestricted free agent, I think maybe this offseason they might make a move to get him, because he's a good pure point guard, and he's good on defense as well, which would be great for them to have in their starting lineup. So it's like, we'll see. And it's like, I hopefully they build upon this. Like you said, they next, few games is like they got some pretty winnable games. It's like, but with them, it's like you never know. They've had games where they should have won and ended up losing, like before they went on this like crazy streak when they was playing all these really good teams. So it's like, we'll see. We'll see.
And that was before they had Vucevic too, I believe, because he was in part of the whole. Was he part of the entire 6-game losing streak? I don't think so, right?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, yeah. So now I don't think, when you have somebody that you can like tell him, yo, go get me a bucket, like you said, he's a presence down there in the paint. Like you could tell him, go get you a bucket, and then you have another guy that can go get you a bucket too. You're gonna win more games, because think about it. It's like when we're in our league, we kind of have guys on our team where it's like, yo, that guy can go get a bucket. I feel like you and Josh are guys that can go get a bucket. It makes people like me feel more comfortable. Like, okay, like I'm good. I don't have to force anything. So back to the main point is, now the guys are on around Zach LaVine and Vucevic, they can be like, all right, Wusa, like I don't have to go get a bucket. They can go get a bucket at any time. So let me just take care of what I have to do, my role. And there's less mistakes. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited. I've been excited for the Wolves since they made this trade. They already beat a good team. Like I said, hopefully this just helps take steps in the right direction. If we can get consistent guard play. Is Kobe White still out?
Yeah, Kobe White's still out.
Okay, yeah. As long as we can get consistent guard play, I think you're right. We'll be set.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes, man. It's like it's they all these new players is just coming, starting to gel with the current squad we got. Hopefully, as time goes on, because like they came from. They made trades and they got three different teams. One came from the Wizards, one came from the Magic, one came from the Celtics. So they came from 3 different teams. So it's like it's probably gonna take a little bit of time for them to gel and get used to everything. I feel like once they do that, we'll start to see some of the improvement. Because like the 2 guys that come off the bench, Tice and Brown Jr., they've both been pretty good. Like. I'm excited about Vucevic, but Tyson, Brown, they've been doing good too. It's like they provide like energy off the bench and a defensive presence, stuff that they need. So I feel like they want to make a playoff run. They're gonna have to do it soon, because it's like it's getting time to crunch time. It's like you want to at least get to the top 10 so you can play for a little play-in tournament to get the last 2 spots. So we'll see, man.
I agree, man. It's exciting right now for the whole sport, like the direction, at least for a couple of our teams. The Bulls are heading in a better direction. The Cubs, obviously since they won the World Series, they've had a couple problems with a couple seasons, got bounced out in the first round their following year after the World Series. And I don't think they've been back since those 2 times. So hoping this year, we turn that around. We got a new coach. So hopefully that turns around all the way. It's the Bears, man, that obviously we're really worried about, because we don't know pretty much anything there. But hopefully we shed some type of light this coming draft. I don't know if we want to do a show after maybe the Monday after the draft, after we know all the players we got. Maybe that's how we should do it. When that time comes, we'll figure that out. But overall, I'm excited, man. We're headed at with all our sports teams. We're overall we're heading in a decent direction. besides the Bears. You know, we're heading in a decent direction.
Yeah.
So I figure we can end the show like we normally do, man, with some shout outs. Do some shout outs.
You want to go first?
Shout-out. Yeah, I'll go first. I'm gonna shout out my wife. She's out there getting us some food right now. So shout out to her for taking one for the team and driving out to forgot what she was getting us, but it's not close by. And then shout out to the fans out there watching. I see we got 2 people watching now, which is awesome, man. We're starting to build a little bit. And I appreciate y'all coming back every time, man. For real, like me and EJ enjoy doing this, and it's like the more fans we get, the more we're gonna enjoy it. And it's like we want to bring people on here. Like we like talking with people, man. It's we like to get people's perspective because everybody has a different view, and sometimes y'all bring up great points that we weren't able to see. So it's awesome, man. So shout out y'all watching, man. Who you got, EJ? What you got for shout outs today?
Shout out my wife as always. Watching the kids while I'm doing this. Let me give a shout out to that sweater, man. That's a pretty dope sweater. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, thank you. I
was looking at that earlier. Yeah, I was looking at that earlier. But and shout out, my brother for always supporting us. He's been on the stream, like watching. He's been on the stream, with us a couple times too. So shout out to him.
Come on next week, Josh, if you can, man.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, man. And with that, man, we're gonna end it today, man. I appreciate y'all sticking with us. And we got a lot to talk about next week because y'all know it's always something new to talk about. Peace.
Yes, sir.